Please, thank you. So meeting is called to order. We do have a quorum. Does
Yes.
look like it. So for anybody who may be new in the room, and we've got also quite a few people on Zoom as well. I'll go ahead and introduce the board members. Myself, Larry May, is president. To my left, Brian Vincent, who's the vice president. We've got our secretary over there, BJ Crane. Treasurer on the other end, Chad Andrews, and Danny Matthews, which is the director at large. I'd like to say welcome to everybody this evening. Thank you for coming. Obviously, the numbers are beginning to grow with every meeting. This is really a good thing. And so far, we're at least 17 on Zoom, and hopefully we'll have more to join us here in just a few minutes. That's a very good thing. You have an agenda that hopefully we've got enough of those at a pending change, and we'll have one more for you this evening before we're finished with this. But we'll start with the agenda in just a moment. I'd like to go ahead, if I could, please. Hank, you want to get a chair? You good? Okay. So I'd like to go ahead and just make a couple of comments before we get into the main agenda. And okay. Because of the increasing numbers attending in person and or via Zoom, and the ever increasing complexity of some of the things that we're discussing, the onus is on me as the chairperson to make sure that the meeting is conducted in a smooth, timely, and orderly fashion. And my goal tonight is to make sure that everyone gets to hear and see the same thing, whether you're in the room or whether you're attending via Zoom. So we want to make sure that we're courteous to one another and make sure that we don't talk over each other and carry on with the rules of what we would expect with any HOA meeting. We're going to also begin tonight transitioning back to our original traditional format of how we conduct the meetings. And that sort of translates into not a lot for you for right now. The agenda will be the same. We will follow that agenda. Speakers will still present when they're given the call to come to the podium, whether it be a committee person, whether it be someone from the board or anyone in the community that's speaking to a topic, and or when we go to the open forum when the members will be allowed to come up and take to the podium. We ask that you come up, state your name, because there are people on Zoom that are going to be watching as well. So again, our intent is to make sure that everyone is comfortable and everyone says something that's not only heard within the room, but certainly on Zoom. One thing I would ask is that there are no interruptions when the speakers are speaking. That's their time to be able to present. It doesn't matter whether you're a board member, a committee member, or a member of the community speaking. We should observe proper customs and courtesies when that person is speaking during their allotted time. Questions, concerns, and issues regarding anything as far as the content along the way as we bring up topics and things are discussed by the presenter. We ask that you hold your questions, your concerns, your issues, and those things, jot them down. We ask that you come to during that portion of the meeting, which is open forum, and you introduce those concerns, questions, and issues at that time, because we're going to be capturing those. So it's hard to do that during the meeting. And from those people who attend by Zoom, they've let us know that it's real hard and difficult to keep track with all the stuff going on when there's multiple conversations in the room and they're not able to really concentrate. So again, we're trying to put a little bit more formality in this, but it's intent to be fair and equitable to the people in the room and those people on Zoom. This will allow us to proceed with the agenda, do it in a timely manner, and then get to the open forum where we're going to ask people to go ahead and give them the time to speak if they wish. So at this point, I'm going to switch over to the agenda itself, and I'm going to ask the members if they have any changes to the review and ratification of the past meeting minutes and notes, if there's any changes that need to be made to these. Any changes?
No changes to the minutes.
Okay. Having said that, there's a motion to accept these.
Motion to accept.
Second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, then the meeting minutes and notes are accepted. Second part will be approval and ratification of the actions of the board. Are there any changes to be made to these ratification actions?
Yes, there's one that needs to be added.
Okay, what's that?
That would be, yes, letter S, ratify approval to pay invoice 45305 to Highland Paving in the amount of $539,108.75. we're adding it. That's why it was on,
This would just
The
came
wrong
into
one.
us recently. Okay, so, okay. So are there any other changes to be made?
no other changes.
Any other changes? Okay, so is there a motion to go ahead and accept these as they are with this new addition?
I make a motion to accept with the new addition.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, it's carried.
Yes, ma'am. It was $539,108.75.
Okay, what, scratching the chair? So with that, we'll go ahead and proceed with the rest of the agenda. The president's report will be next. President's- So in my October president's report, I spoke to the transition of our previous board to this one and our intent to keep moving forward to finish the three major projects that we had started last year. Storm system cleanup, paving of our roads, and the community access project. Two are nearing completion, paving and stormwater systems cleanout, and the third, which is the access, which will be entering into the next phase that we spoke of when we started this program. We've also just transitioned to a new property management company, CAM OIB, effective the 1st of January. And we've completed a new revision effort updating our guidelines and continuing to bring HOA Start online. In addition to these projects and our roles and responsibilities for day-to-day management of the association, we are committed to remaining forward-looking at every opportunity. So now is the time to focus on other community priorities. To accomplish our intentions, we have asked Danny Matthews, Director at Large, to take on these expanded roles. This will require changes in our respective liaison roles to accommodate these efforts. Danny will focus on issues such as physical measures, which are gates, gate arms, additional fencing, and those things that are basically the physical measures of security or safety involving the community as part of phase 2 for our access effort, as well as working with the developers and builders of the new community going on and developments close by to, again, start to look at safety concerns and issues as far as any kind of encroachment or anything like that. So we've asked them to start working with that, especially since they really started working with building the houses over there. And we continue to leverage working on his knowledge with Brunswick County way of doing business so that we can identify future projects. Therefore, effective immediately, the following liaison positions have changed. Chad Andrews will serve as BOD liaison for the Architectural Review Committee. BJ Crane will serve as BOD liaison for the Compliance and Post-Construction Committee. I will serve as the board liaison for safety and preparedness. And other board liaison roles will remain as they are. If we are to be successful, we must have the active participation from each committee chair, its members, and you, the community. Remember, we're an amalgam of some 471 property owners, and we have just about that number of opinions on how things should happen and occur within the community and or not. We're also all like us, like you, are volunteers that have committed to make a positive impact on our community. So if you're not already involved, will you consider joining us? That is my president's report. These reports, committee reports to include this, will be posted to our website. Okay. Treasury report.
If you got the copies up here that we put, this is actually a spreadsheet copy of our statement. We just received this in from our previous management company this past week. It's actually on the website right now that you can log on and see it 24 hours a day. You can see at the end of our November statement, you can see the total operation cost is the $289,356, included with the ARC totals of the $307,818. Total deposits, you see a $597,175. Obviously, our balance sheet for the reserves is exactly $1,476,295. You can see how I combined the actual maintenance of the pool, the clubhouse, and landscaping. You can see that we're actually in a credit right now of the $12,573 at the very end for the year. The administration as well. We are actually in a negative right now of $89.89. A little bit of the addition to the operation, but so far year to date, we are $11,004 under budget. So this year it actually ran so well at the end of November. And of course, you'll see it also in December. We finished quite well. You can see the reserve right here on this calendar statement on the 2024 out of November. This is the concrete side, expansion for the front entrance. And again, that's not the asphalt. That's where we actually widen the front entrance. And this is the stonework on the side there. Make sense? Okay. If you have any other questions, please don't hesitate to give me a call anytime. That's treasury report.
Can we get the question through this?
No, sir. If you would save it, Dan, if you wouldn't mind, please. So that way we could capture these. We're trying to. Right. So, okay, thanks, sir. So let's go ahead and proceed with the committee reports, please. So I guess I'm first up on this one too. Thank you. So the ABC POA, which is near and dear to Donna's heart and my heart and Judy's heart if she's here as well. And Dan's heart when he attended as well. Not a lot happened over the Christmas period of time as far as the holidays. I will tell you that this is something that you'll all remember as well. The Brunswick County Unified Development Document that was in draft form was being worked on when you were the president up here and forward till now is still in draft form. They've apparently made just a smidge of progress, but not that they can really identify. So hey Judy. So that product is still what it is. The UMD is basically the planning document that the county uses that governs and controls development. It's the density, it's everything. And they've been working on this for some years and they are not making very much progress. The ABC POA has had a group of representatives on that, trying to assist in that effort, but there's not been a lot of progress made to get that development to more fruition. There's a lot of involvement between the builders and the county commissioners. I'll leave it at that. There were three pieces of legislation at the state legislature over the past year. Again, they were looking at developing committees, and two of them were oversight committees that were going to be looking at HOA management, how fines and monies are used, and how they may be sort of even potentially reapportioned. These committees were going to be formed to examine all of this, and basically these were underneath the HOA Homeowners Association Management Act and Condominium Act, and they were supposed to sort of peel some of that stuff back and look to see overall how the HOA management and the HOAs in the state were actually happening. And were there good things and bad things. But anyway, the pieces of legislation that we're going to look at developing these oversight or at least influencing committees all went by the wayside when they ended the legislative session for the state of North Carolina. Those efforts stopped and ceased. They will remain that way unless they're resurrected with the next session. So more to follow on that when the new session starts back and I get additional information. There's not anything else from an ABC POA perspective other than we'll be meeting monthly now and trying to get best information from them that we can. So I'll go ahead and over to the ARC.
Let's not be too cold.
Is this working? Can you all hear me?
No.
Okay. I'm Scott Reed and I'm with the ARC. There's two other members, Don Testerman, Mike George, and Mike George is the chairman and he's in Aruba. So here I am doing the report. Presently, there are 38 homes right now under construction. And if you take these homes that are under construction with the occupied homes, there's 221, which is about 47% of our community at the capacity. But we still have 254 open lots, but that's changing daily almost. So there's people coming in almost every day wanting to build, bringing us plans. We've sent out numerous letters for various builders for a variety of violations, which will be corrected or as a monetary fine notification. So
Since November, the ARC has conducted 11 pre-construction walks with builders, 16 final inspections, although some have failed. And they will be resubmitted as soon as they fix the things that didn't pass. Let's see, and approved plans for 7 new builds and 2 sheds, and all this has happened since this November. And we're currently working with a new management company. Trying to get them up to speed with the ARC process, and hopefully within the next month, everything will be going a lot smoother. So, and that's all I have for the ARC. Now I'm gonna put my other hat on. Now the boats and docks, that's next, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Doing that too?
Thank you very much.
yeah. So Charlie's out of town, so he asked me to,
Is he in Aruba too?
no,
Let's not start rumors.
he may be sitting at home.
Yeah.
Be gone, I don't know. Yeah, so. Okay, ongoing, and Charlie Collins is our chairman of the boats and docks. On the boat ramp, we're continuing to monitor the condition and the usage of the boat ramp to ensure it remains safe and functional for the community. This includes regular inspections for any signs of wear, damage, or debris that may affect accessibility. And we try to keep the ramp, it builds a lot of algae, on the lower part where the tide sits and comes in and out, and it gets real slick. So if you're using the boat ramp, be careful down there at the lower end. I've actually fell and broke my ribs across the tongue, and that's how slick it gets. Not that I'm kind of clumsy anyway. So now the storage lot, we still have it's almost full. I mean, we're down to like 4 places, even on the part we expanded. So the waiting list, we'll have another waiting list if because every day, I mean, people are moving in, they're bringing boats. This is a boating community, so I don't know what we're going to do, but we're looking at some other options. I'll put it that way. We installed a new ladder on the floating dock. It had got tore off by one of the storms in the past. We put a new piling in, which was damaged from one of these big yachts going north or south. I don't know which way it was headed, but it come in and broke one of the big pilings off. Okay, we put some new signage on the lot out here with the parking rules and regulations on the expanded part that we put in. And activities that we're going to do within the next 6 months, hopefully, is start striping those storage lot. You know, you see all the campers and boats sitting out there outside the fence. Well, we don't have any stripes out there, so we're kind of putting them in the best we can for right now. And then, of course, power washing the boat ramp again. And we're in the process, and I know this is kind of a sore subject to some people, but we're wanting to put a fence across the parking lot and then try to hide the campers and stuff when you come in through the front gate. That's in the process. We're going to get some bids and hopefully get that done this year, or even quicker than that, hopefully in the next few months. That's pretty much it. I think we don't have nobody's joined lately, and we have not removed anybody, so we have no budget issues, so. That's all we're in.
Clubhouse, please. Clubhouse. There's no report for the clubhouse. Carla did say that she was scheduling a meeting with that committee next month.
Madam Chair.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Communications.
I'm Jim Lunsford. I'm on the communications committee. Since the last meeting, we've been updating the website, trying to get it more up to date, verifying, adding new members to the website, adding and removing committee members as needed. Our projects completed since the last report. We've got new oysterharbor.org email addresses for the committees. We had a contact us glitch that was corrected. People that were submitting questions through the website were going into limbo. We finally got those and we're trying to catch up on those. Activities that we're creating or planning within the next 6 months, we've been asked to create a new board meeting question and answer page for meetings. We have no current budget issues and no reserve issues and no membership changes.
Thanks, thanks. Financial planning, hey.
Can you get much?
Good evening. The committee, our committee met, in fact, yesterday, when we started the process of updating our 2025 reserve listing. Key element of that is our year-end financial statements. Seeing how we just got November's, do we have any idea of when we're gonna get December's?
All I can do is ask.
Yeah, I mean, the sooner the better. We just use the year-end reserve as a starting figure for our reserve listing, so. We're developing a list of questions, concerns for other committee chairs, which we will invite to meetings next month, including the board. The purpose of these meetings will be to discuss the reserve items for each specific committee. So we'll have the reserve listing parsed out and with separate documents for each committee. We are reviewing the current presentation of the reserve listing and exploring alternate presentations. We've had the same format for as far as I can remember. It's not the most user-friendly document, so we're gonna try to clean that up a little bit. We're also reviewing our committee charter and mission statements to ensure that we align with the overall HOA vision and mission. We work very closely with the board in terms of vision and mission, so it's important that we sort of align with them. We're in the process also, once we get the reserve listing updated, of creating a long-term financial plan for the organization, with guidance from the board, of course. The FPC continues to explore alternate sources of revenue to improve our overall level of reserve funding for future years. As I mentioned in the last meeting, I've been on the committee for 6 years. My term, if you will, is coming to a close. I will resign as chairman effective on March 1st. And I will transition my role to another member of the committee, and will remain on the committee as a consultant, if you will, going forward as needed. That's all I have.
Grounds, please.
I don't think Mike's here. Okay,
Okay,
Mike Weddle is our chairperson for grounds. I don't think he's in Aruba either. But I do know he's got house guest, so I'll read that for him. His current activities and project status, none. Just the ongoing with the weekly maintenance from our landscape company. Activities projects completed since the last report. All the bushes have been trimmed. And there is a bench going in for the new kayak launch, so you can actually go down there and enjoy those sunsets. That should be in within the next 30 days, we hope. Activities and projects planned to start within the next 6 months. Irrigation repairs, and to take out the hollies that are between the crepe myrtles at the front entrance. Originally, we took some of the bushes out, which we established the new landscaping area. And now the next is to take those older bushes that are overgrown out as well. And that'll expand the planting area in the front also. No budget concerns and no reserve concerns.
okay. Thank you, sir. Member orientation.
Hey, Lou Ellen Brademan. I'm providing the report for Mary Ann and Judy. Ongoing activities for member orientation. We work with our liaison to update the community reminders document and with the communications committee to upload documents to the website, which I actually have done. And the updates, the list of members in our committee. Projects completed since last report. We updated all of our documents to reference the new management company, sent a picture and article to the Pearl about our successful October 2024 event. We sent out 30 invitations to new home lot owners. The event was attended by 9 couples of new homes. The surveys and social after the meeting indicated they enjoyed the overview of life in Oyster Harbor and getting to meet some of their neighbors. Activities projects planned to start within the next 6 months. We're scheduled a member meeting to discuss our next event, which will tentatively be scheduled for this coming April 2025. Budget issues, none, and any membership changes, none.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Ponds and fountains.
Good afternoon. I'm Bill Justice, chairperson of the Ponds and Fountains Committee. Since last meeting, we had 3 issues that our committee was unable to resolve internally. Myself, Jim McGowan, and Rob Gray are on the committee, and we generally take care of most minor stuff if we can. We had to call in our contracting company Total Lake Care for 2 lighting issues, one on Cardinal Lake and one on Eagle Lake. Both were electrical related. One was a GFI that kept tripping, needed replacing, and one was a lamps and bulbs in the Eagle Lake fountain that needed to be replaced. Also had a report from one of the residents that one of the fountains, 2 fountains in Palmetto Lake, one of the fountains was struggling to pump, and we found that it had debris in a section of the fountain pump that Lake Company was called in and they cleaned it out. One note on Eagle Lake lighting, we are still using LED lamps in an old halogen type lighting fixture, and over the last 24 months we've replaced 2 of those with new LED lighting assemblies, one in Cardinal Lake and one on Wood Duck. So we'll probably here in the near future require the Eagle fountain to be transferred out to a new LED lighting assembly. Good news on that is our Lake Company is now a distributor of those, and they do all the warranty work on those without having to send those out for any kind of repair. Important item that we've had carried over from month to month, we still cannot get to the Weir gate on the Russell Hewlett Lake outlet in any kind of a safe manner. It's a steep and rocky hill that you'd have to go down, and we'd like to try to continue to keep it on the front burner to have a set of stairs or some sort of gradual paving or something there to make that a little safer. We haven't opened up any new current projects. Projects that we completed, we talked with the grounds committee, had the landscaping performed around most of the perimeters of each of the ponds, and that was completed last year. And we haven't, as I said, we hadn't had any new projects ongoing. We haven't had any current budget issues, and we haven't had any changes in our personnel.
Thank you, sir.
All right.
Safety and preparedness, Bob.
Okay, safety and preparedness, Leanna Winslow, Bob Wilson, co-chair. Current ongoing projects include hurricane preparedness, which is always currently ongoing. We are going back through our documents and updating them with some of the new federal laws and looking at what needs to be done for June, July, which will be here sooner than we think. Community Watch, which is part of our group. The Safety and Preparedness Committee voted unanimously that Community Watch should become its own committee. And that vote was put on hold by the request of the board of directors, so it is an open question. Post-disaster policy revisions, we are again looking at what we wrote before and are just updating. We're setting up a communications protocol in cooperation with some of the other committees, and that will work in case of natural or man-made disaster. Traffic control, we did quite a bit on, but that has been put on hold by the board of directors' request. Activities completed since last report, the basic disaster EOC plan revisions. Activities projects planned to start within the next 6 months. There will be an emergency services fair on June 14th, 2025. That is a Saturday afternoon. The object here is to have the EMS, the fire departments come out, let the kids play with the fire engines, and have the various organizations hand out literature to the residents. We are also looking at Community Watch town halls, but that again is on hold. And Candy is working on first aid and CPR classes and so on. Current budget issues, none. Reserve issues, none. We have added Larry to our committee, Candy Swift. Thank you, Bob, please. And we have Chad Andrews has resigned and gone to another committee, and Jan Hewitt has resigned from the committee.
Thanks, Bob.
Okay.
Social.
Now, how did I get in here?
Oh, around. Ooh, awesome. I was going to thank you. It's a lot.
Thanks for doing that.
Okay, I'm Bonnie Fielder and I'm reading the report for Carla for the social committee. We continue to meet on the second Tuesday of each month. This year's Halloween was a mixed result. The trunk or treat was deemed a success with the number of members and their decorated carts. We're on hand to pass out treats to the children. Photos were posted to the website. The party at the clubhouse was fun and live music provided by a class act, but the turnout was not as expected. The committee will look at different options for next year. The Harvest Soup Day was a great event as usual. 62 members signed up and received personalized Oyster Harbor mugs. The variety of soups was wonderful and it was difficult to find room for them all. Following the sampling of soup, members stayed to participate in the trivia game with 68 participants. Prizes were given to all participants. Participation trophies. The community decorating was coordinated with the grounds committee. Both the clubhouse interior and the entrance to the community were decorated for the season and were followed with a lunch of deli sandwiches for all. It was agreed to evaluate the needs for decorations and supplies for next season, since many of the bows and garlands are in need of replacement. The holiday party, cookie exchange, and parade proved to be a great success. Invitations to new members
were delivered to 28 new members. More than 20 participated in the cookie exchange, and the golf cart parade was great fun.
Yes.
It was noted that several pit stops popped up and along the way to offer sustenance to the parade's participants.
I know nothing.
Down it. I don't know what. Yeah, me too. Two projects that the social committee sponsors each year, the Wish Upon a Star and the December Bunko food and donations drive resulted in a huge success. As previously reported, the Wish Upon a Star benefited 3 families with 137 gifts and gift cards for meals and took 3 cars to deliver the goods. The December Bunko drive resulted in cash donation to the Brunswick Family Assistance of $750 plus food and supplies, and $300 to the Brunswick Animal Shelter plus food and supplies. It was awesome. So the New Year's Eve was different experience this year, starting at 7 and ending at 10 when it strikes midnight at Rio de Janeiro. So, you know, I think some people stayed later. I don't know. The carnival theme was perfect and some weren't ready to leave so early and paid the DJ to stay a little longer. 50 members and guests signed up for this celebration. Activities and projects planned to start within the next 6 months. The committee will meet on Tuesday, the 14th of January, and will work on a calendar of events for 2025. That was last Tuesday. I didn't write this, though. The annual Super Bowl party and games night will take place on Sunday, February 9th at 5:30. Deli sandwiches and chili dogs will be provided by the social committee. We don't have any budget issues. Social committee cash on hand is $470.59. Audit conducted by Judy Glover. Report was attached, I think, in, as of 11:30, $425.25 remained in the social committee budget. Committee purpose membership changes, delete Chris Bracken and Lorraine Nicholas.
And thank you, Bonnie. Structures. All right, I will read the structures. John is basking in the 80-degree weather in Florida.
The trend here.
All right, no, I'm on here. Current ongoing activities, project status, putting out, taking in clubhouse trash and recycling cans. Monitoring streetlight performance, and I think John and one of the other members just did that. I think John just recently, a week or two ago. Maintaining guardhouse US and state flags, monitoring clubhouse defibrillator battery to avoid outage. Monitor pool lights, equipment and facility and repairs needed. Change clubhouse refrigerator filter as needed. Change light timers for clubhouse and pool twice per year. Monitor clubhouse exterior lighting and replace bulbs as needed. Activities projects completed since last report to the board. Changed handle and flapper release and toilet in women's pool bathroom. Installed new do not feed alligator signs at the back entrance. Changed clubhouse refrigerator filter. Installed new blinds in the gatehouse. Conducted street light survey and reported all is well. Assisted in putting up and taking down Christmas decorations. Researched and recommended shelving for the gatehouse, which we have purchased 2 of those. Adjusted pool light timers several times as daylight hours changed. Contacted and worked with A+ Pro on pressure washing the front entrance walls. And removed wasp nests from the gatehouse entrance. Activities projects planned to start are already started. Repairing the base caps on the water park railings. That project has already begun. They're just finishing up as they have time. Assist the board with any major items where S and G has the skill and labor to do it. Repair, replace fascia boards on Water Park gazebo walkway. Estimate $230, and replace pool house hose. Snake pool shower drain. S and G tried and need a vendor to do it. Clean out all pool house drain pipes. Additional gatehouse and water park gazebo trim needs replacing. Explore, recommend seasonal enclosure for pool furniture storage. Research and recommend pool furniture needed for the pool season. So that's one of the things that the committee talked about last time, and they're currently getting estimates to replace some of the pool furniture that is in disrepair. And working with BEMC on changeover of street lights at Water Park and the entrance. And there are no budget issues because they don't have a budget. Everything, their budget comes out of the reserve.
Okay, thank you, Brian. Press Compliance Committee.
Good evening, everyone. Let me get my eyes on here. I'm Jack Kaiser with the Compliance and Post-Construction Committee. I'm the co-chair along with Glenn Mooring. And current and ongoing activities. He's like, I think I got the wife's glasses here. I can't see. We continue to work with the applicants and process their requests for exterior improvements and changes. We report both member and construction violations to the board. Let me say a little bit about that. As far as the construction violations, I just want to mention, just so there's no confusion, that the construction violations that we report consist of those violations that may interfere with the right of ways, encroaching on neighboring properties and things of that nature. Okay, so I want to be clear on that. Okay. Activities, projects completed since our last report. We have completed, I hope we have completed our contribution to the newly revised ARC standards. Since the last report, we have processed 12 requests, 12 with 11 approvals and 1 unapproved. We had 9 requests for tree removal, 2 roof replacement requests, and 1 solar panel installation request. Also, since our last report, we had 13 member violations that have been sent up. Activities, projects, plan to start within the next 6 months. Right now, we currently have 17 outstanding final inspections out of 44 total requests since the beginning of July 1st. I'm asking everybody today, those who are listening, if you have a request out there, please let us know that they've been completed so we can do a final inspection on it. Okay. And we hope to begin meeting with the new members at the community new members meeting. I believe we missed the last one for whatever reason, I don't recall. Budget issues, we have no reserve, and yeah, we haven't no reserve budget issues or no operating budget issues. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Okay, we'll transition now. We're into unfinished business. Danny, you're up with storm drainage update, where that project is.
Rainstorm Solutions, some of you may have noticed that they have been in our neighborhood. They came back last week and we're doing punch list items to just finish up some drains and some swells, some low-lying areas, some things that they just missed, and replace some additional riprap throughout the community. They actually came back into the community today, and that was the finish of that. If you happen to notice or see anything in the community, please let us know. We've done a community drive several times through to make sure that we've kind of tried to dot our i's and cross our t's and make sure we've got everything, and I think we're there. But please, eyes and ears, we would love to have your help. That finishes the storm drain portion. We're moving on, if you'll see the ratification list, to a reclamation of a swell at the end of Harbor's Edge, Judy, across from your home. They should have been in there working today. We're starting that project today. It's 20 years old and it had filled with silt, plus so a contractor went in and kind of made his own way about the beginning of the strength of this swell. So we're trying to work through that as well to get those repairs. And that's it for the storm drainage. We can move on to paving if
Yes,
you
sir.
would like.
Please go ahead.
We have a punch list still waiting from our paving contractor with Highland Paving. They are hindered by temperature. They've got some areas and transitions on some of the roads where they've got to still feather out an apron, trying to get rid of any transition bump that would happen. Those areas, there's some water mains that still have to be replaced and raised. They're aware of that. As soon as the temperatures get to the place where they can operate at 60 degrees, they will be in here to make those repairs. We today only noticed a couple of areas that came to attention. Some of you may have noticed when you come into the entrance, of course, it always had to happen there. There's a low spot right in front of the planter area as you come into the community. They were finishing up at night and they missed that low area. That is on their punch list to fix. That will be repaired. There's one other area where we had the tree in the road where you turn on the Russell Hewitt. That too has a low depression in it. They're going to come back and fix that as well. But I hope for the most part that you've ridden the community and you're happy and pleased with what you travel over. Our budget numbers have come in better than we expected. Our original quote, as many of you have known, was $599,000 and some change. We just got our final numbers today, which we're holding part of that money to make sure this punch list is done and everything is finished up. But we're going to come in at a total, and I had it sitting right here in front of me, 560. Well, that was our first page that you saw ratified was 539, but we're going to actually come in at $565,223.75, considerably under budget. And if you'd like to know where that came in, they had to do an estimate of how much leveling they thought they would have to do on the first course. All of us remember our roller coaster ride roads. They had overestimated how much they would need for that, and they actually passed the savings back on to us. So that should be totally completed. I will go ahead and add on, yes, they did tear the gate up. Yes, we've all had to be patient with that, and it has been aggravating for all of us. They have paid for the gate damage. Our fabricator was here today. He thought he was going to finish today, but he promises me the gate will be in operation tomorrow. So please hang on and look for that. Okay.
Thank you, sir. Access, Chad.
Well, as everybody knows, Access has been very busy since we started in September. It's been a fantastic adventure to actually see all the cards, fobs, and different tag readers that have been assigned. So many residents shared with us, for example, that they didn't have a fob, but on the account it showed that they did. The best thing we've done is gone through and really cleaned up the account, and that's our main thing. Currently, we're working with all the builders. All the current builders and subcontractors, we're assigning new codes to them. Obviously, we're also setting up a termination date. So obviously, the builder starting construction, we're giving a 1-year period for that card or that tag number to be active. But at that point, after 1 year, it's automatically being removed and deleted. If the builder is still working past that year, it's not a problem. They're obviously contacting the actual Access Committee as well as obviously the ARC Committee to let them know they're delayed, and we're assigning a new card for them. The big thing that we need to really focus on this coming spring season, especially, just like example, this past week, we had a truck and a trailer pulling their boat out of our boat launch area. One of our residents noticed there wasn't a tag on the car and the trailer was not registered. So somehow they got in And as soon as the gate opened up, they immediately drove out and down the road. So come the spring season, as the weather picks up, and especially with the new neighborhood right here being built and more residents having complete access to walk around, is something we're really going to have to start to manage, and we're looking for volunteers. Of people who want to come and have like a little piece of paper. So if they see a car or a trailer or something that's not registered and doesn't have a tag on the windshield, they can document the make, the model, the color of the car, the license tag number, and that little piece of paper can be instantly put underneath the windshield wiper. Just to let them know that if we see that car a second time, they do have the option to be towed. Obviously, at the bottom of that, it's going to say, if you're a resident, please contact the Access Control Committee. You can instantly go to our website and you can see on the very top page, it says you can click immediately on access@oysterharbor.org, and they can immediately contact and we can register that new vehicle and so on. Also, if you say, and we've noticed this recently, since we started this back in September, so many residents have sold their cars. So all of a sudden they're coming back to get a new sticker, which is not a problem. Well, also, we're having to go back in and make sure that their tag reader was deactivated. So obviously, if you're selling your car to a car dealership, they should be removing those things. But in today's times, as some people actually are selling their cars on Craigslist or anything like that, please remember, if you sold the car and your tag reader is there, it's still active. You have to notify the access group, and then we can instantly go in and unassign that tag. Make sense? If you have any questions at all, please do not hesitate to contact the access group at any time, 24/7. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Proceed on with new business. One item there, that would be me, the Oyster Harbor Strategic Plan. So if you go on our website, you'll see that the Oyster Harbor, or the Board of Directors has goals and objectives posted. One of those is for 2025 is the development potentially of a strategic plan for the community. Tonight, I'm really throwing out this idea to you. Absolutely zero has been done on this project, other than me writing up what I'm thinking and what I'm talking about tonight. So this is as fresh off the presses as you can get. The idea of a strategic plan for a homeowners association is pretty common, and especially in our size and larger size HOAs. Really, the impetus is basically we as a community, and when I say community, it's all of us, really need to consider whether or not we want to develop a document that lays out our strategy for looking at 5 years and beyond into the future. Currently, most HOAs are like us. They'll do a one-year planning cycle where you have the budget and then you have the new board of directors coming in. And your planning cycle is based on just near-term types of planning. I think that we need to look forward of that to the 5 years and beyond. Because how else can we decide what it is, our goal is, what we're trying to achieve and beyond? We've heard all sorts of comments tonight about we want to potentially expand the boat area. We want to potentially expand these amenities or do these things. This is all part of the strategic planning process. And as individual members in this community, I think it's within our ability and power to decide, yes, this is something we should look forward to working on or not. This will be a decision for the whole of the community. But really, I think to get the ball started, Brian and I will start over the next month to start laying out the framework. Now, anyone can go to Dr. Google or Dr. DuckDuck and pull up what an HOA strat plan looks like. Basically, you start off with a mission, vision and mission statement, goals and objectives, and so on. And there's plenty of good examples out there. But what makes this whole process unique is it has to be and should be tailored by the individual needs and desires of the individual members in this community. And that's where it has to be all encompassing. We'll, over the next month and a half, we'll start to lay out what the steps look like and what the framework looks like. And once we're done with that, we would like to bring to the quarterly committee meeting, which is potentially set for about the first part of March, and bring it before the committee members and chairs and say, hey, you all are the backbone of the community. You're the ones out there doing everything. You're the ones that know the amenities. You're the one that really know how the community works. What does this look like? What does it sound like? What is the realm of the possible as compared to the realm of the feasible? It's okay and to have and plan big, but you got to be able to pay for it. And you have to be able to lay a strategy and to achieve it. And that obviously affects everything from the reserves to the annual budgets. So as we go through this process, these are things to be considered. Reserve. We have now certainly a building block. Everything is critical to this, every committee. But what we would do then is introduce it to the quarterly committee meeting, see what this, bounce these ideas off, or the idea off, and see what they think of our framework, get their feedback. We would make changes, and then we would bring it to the next open association meeting on the 20th of March and sort of lay this out to see what the general consensus is. Is this something we should be working on, or is it not? Because it should not be developed, but a lot of effort put into it that goes on the shelf. This is something for the next board and the following board to look at and keep this thing fed and watered throughout the period of time, because that's the planning part. Are we going to be happy with this clubhouse over the next 5 or 10 years with the growth for when the ARC has talked about? So anyway, these are all things to consider. And we're just introducing this concept to you tonight. And that's all I have. Okay. Bear with me a second. What's that?
Remember.
Okay. So before we get into the open forum for the members to come forward, let me just make a couple of comments to this. Sort of the rules of engagement on this, if you would, please. If you would raise your hand, please. And again, I'll turn to the people who have got 22 plus or something like that on the Zoom meetings who may ask questions as well. This is what I asked, that you would raise your hand, and or the representative of the Zoomies over there, let us know when somebody wants to ask a question as well. I'll recognize you. Please come up to the podium and say your name, and you've got 3 minutes to go ahead and talk about your questions, issues, and concerns. Remember the audience in the room, put down 3 minutes, as well as Zooms, because we're speaking to everybody. Limit to 3 minutes. The board of directors tonight will be in listen mode only. We're going to listen to take notes of your comments, list all these things down and capture them. We're currently, as it's been mentioned tonight a couple of times, we're currently working on a methodology and a platform to be able to respond back to you on issues and concerns and the questions. We're trying to subdivide those up into those things that we can get back to you as quickly as we can, because things coming in shouldn't necessarily, the simpler ones shouldn't have to wait too much to hear what those are. More complex ones may require more thought and more explanation and more involvement. Those would probably be deferred to the next open meeting. So that's our approach to this, and we will keep you posted on that. So with that, we'll open the floor for comments, please. Les
Weintraub, Heron Lake. I need to get some of your blood, Scott. I'm freezing and you're. It's not good, but anyhow. It's called tequila. That's what I'm missing. Don't stop my time yet. Don't stop my time yet. I'd like to thank the paving and what's happened in the front with the sidewalks that are going in. It looks really nice. And thank you for addressing the koi pond that's developed in the front, that it will be addressed. 2 things. I don't know if you can answer tonight, or you're going to get back. There's a pile of sand that is on the entranceway to the left when you come in. It's been there since they've done the road repair. Will that be removed? What's the plan on that? Are they going to remove it? Just curious. And also the Belgian block. We have beautiful Belgian block when we go in and out of our community, especially on the exit side. There seems to be some tar that's been, I guess, scrubbed in with the work that was done. And I don't know how that gets removed or can be removed, but if it can, what's the plan to have that done? Just because we have such a beautiful community, it should look pristine all the time and not have any eyesores, especially on the entrance.
Can I ask a question? The tar on the concrete stand, is that what you're talking about?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. It's been there, and perhaps it looks like it's tar anyhow, and it came after they finished the road repair. And I also just like to make a comment, Larry, I'm very glad you brought up the strategic plan. Just personally speaking, I think that is the anchor for a community, and from board to board transferring what's going on. So I'm glad that you're looking into it. And I think a comprehensive approach using the community is the only way to go. Well, thank you for doing that.
Thank you, Les. Marty?
Seriously?
No, she didn't help. No, she didn't help. God.
Hi, I'm Marty Goldman. I live on Portside Drive. I have two things. You said, Larry, about your strategic plan, that it's, for individuals. But it's
going to require individual, all the members, this is a community.
yeah, I was gonna say, but
Yes,
it
absolutely.
shouldn't be individual,
Oh, no,
it'd be
no,
for
no.
the whole
The
community.
whole community,
Okay,
the whole of the community, yes, ma'am.
yeah, okay. I just want to make sure that,
Absolutely.
okay. And the other thing is, Jack kind of said something about a new ARC guideline. Anybody care to enlighten us on what's gonna happen?
Very
We're gonna
quickly,
take this-
it's been clarified. We've tried to clarify documentation and once it'll be published. So hopefully it'll
Well,
be.
There's no way to go input.
Yeah.
Did the ARC have anything to say about that?
Absolutely.
Okay,
Then I'm done.
thank you.
Sorry, I'm sorry. On me.
Hello, everyone. I'm Vince Bracken, live on Stonecraft Court. I have a couple points I'd like to make. You know, for years, being on a board, many board members had issues with front gate. This year, it's been a disaster with the amount of times they've been hit. It must be 8 to 10 times. And we always decided, well, we're just gonna fix it. How about if we fix it right this time? We put a new, different style of gate in. You know, we're gonna continue to build as we go forward. But what we have now, you know, it's gonna get hit in the next couple of months with all the traffic coming in. Doesn't matter. You can put a couple more poles in, whatever you want, but I think we need to solve the problem by putting a different style gate in. Chad, I talked to you a while ago about this, and I think it's something we need to look at. If it happens again, hey, let's go in the right direction.
Yes.
Paving project. I've done a lot of paving in my career, did about 3 to 5 million up north on different projects that I had. And we talked on a board when I was on about the underlying problem is the base. We have no base. And I know on Eagle Crest, we added more asphalt to it in order to fill in those voids and so on. But I would like to recommend to the board as we go forward is to look at the underlying problem of what we have out there, and it's our base. If we do more paving, we should do milling and add a proper base to it, so it lasts 20 to 30, 40 years. I mean, what we have now, we've put down, normally you're doing 2.5 inches of asphalt and you compact it to 2. And that's basically putting a second roof on your house. But I'd say 7 to 10 years from now, we're gonna have the same problem. And I hate throwing being a Monday morning quarterback, but it's our money and we need to do it the right way. So as we go in the future, these are the things we need to look at and do it right and just walk away and not worry about it. Thank you.
Thanks, sir.
Okay. Anybody have other questions?
Hello, everybody. I'm Candy Swift. We live on Hill and Water Lane. A couple of things. I want to thank the board for the paving. Going up and down Eagle Crest and Hill and Water is phenomenal. I love it. And I'm so happy that it was done. Secondly, I want to thank publicly Jim Lunsford and Carla Wisniewski and the social committee for the help with the Pearl. I'm co-editor of the Pearl, our newsletter. I love doing it. Barb knows what a job it is. And it's fun for me. I did that sort of thing in my previous life. But I just want to thank them from the bottom of my heart, because it wouldn't have gone on without you guys. And anybody that has an idea, a suggestion for the Pearl, I welcome that and appreciate it. Okay? All right. Thanks, guys.
Okay, so.
Is that a question, Chief? Okay. Agree. Okay. All right, gonna share some comments from folks participating in the Zoom. One question, as part of the strategic plan review, is there a plan to include a review of the CCRs?
Sure. No, I got it here.
Okay.
Can you tell me who that was that's asked?
Wendy Thompson.
Thank you.
Okay. So Wendy, you're watching. They're going to get back with you on that and to the group. Okay. And then I have another one. Hold on. I'm sorry. Why is this not? Good evening. Just wondering if the people riding around on golf carts looking for violations will be posting their schedule, ride around times, and are they allowed to continue using binoculars?
No, and yeah.
No and yes.
Thank you.
Got that one. Okay. And then have another one. I have not joined the new OH Property Managers website due to security concerns. How is my personal information secure? Why and how is it shared with other vendors? Larry Cannon, Lot 545.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, and that's it, at least for the moment. Oh, never mind. You're sending it to me? Okay. Communications team at work. Email or text? Okay. Okay. All right, I have a request that there is an attempt to minimize trash on job sites. I agree with that one. And is there a clear message and violation policy addressed to the builders? So this is specifically about minimizing trash on job sites and a clear message, and then potential violation policy addressed to builders. So Sheila Spencer. Okay. All right. I think, okay, that's it for now. Thank you. Thank you.
Hi, my name's Lorraine. I live on Eagle Crest, used to be known as the Roller Coaster Road. When I first moved in, we never had any problems with the construction truck builders, contractors staying on the road. With no speed bump anymore, it seems to me that they're going a lot faster. That school bus goes straight through. I've also seen them tearing up. I feel like that they're tearing up our community. Now they're all over on our grass. They're hitting the corners of every corner homeowner lot. They're just tearing them up. I've seen Eagle Crest sign was straight, but it keeps going down further and further. Also, I see a lot of illegal parking where I can't even get through. Because there's one, both constructions home are going at the same time, so it's a lot of problems getting through. And the new one I found is that they are working at nighttime. There's no electricity, but they're running around with their flashlight on their head. So me, I got scared and I called the police. So so I have found that I'm not the only one that's seeing this, and I've seen some down the road, but I thought maybe somebody lost their equipment, but they are doing work at nighttime.
After 7 p.m.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Last night was 8:30. Also, I checked around, I'm gonna talk about codes right now. I have checked around with other communities and everybody has been giving up the codes. Like, you know, you punch in your codes because they found more trouble with outsiders coming in. So I would love to see them removed because you're not gonna stop anybody from coming in if they have the code for using our docks, using our pool, kayak racks, or I'm sorry, the kayak rack, right? You can't stop them. They have the code. That little sticker, if you can find them, they're gonna, and then, you know, the owner's gonna sit there and say, well, I gave him permission. What are you gonna do? Do you have a fine for that? I don't know. It's just something to look at. Also, safety and liability. I'm surprised we even have insurance on our pool with that gate, with the fence being so low. The fence is only 3 feet high. And if you notice the fence, how it's built, it does have the slats like this, but it has circles. Anybody can climb it. I climbed over it because I had to use the bathroom. So I climbed over it. So with all these children, last summer, I saw a lot of Tanglewood kids all jumping over at nighttime. The teenagers jump over. It's a liability. I don't want to see somebody's kid lying dead in the pool. So I personally think we need a higher fence. I don't even know how we're getting insurance when people can jump over it. Especially somebody in their 60s. What else did I have? I hear that we're replacing the kayak. We're fixing it. I asked about racks before and I still haven't heard a thing about it. To be placed near the water. Thank you. Storage rack? Yeah, storage rack. I mean, we have boats and trailers and everything else, so we have a lot of kayakers here too. All right, now I'm going Bill Gleason for 3 minutes. No, I'm not kidding.
Others.
Yeah.
Hello, I'm Chris Duva. I live on Redfish Run. Most of us who have any association with the board know the bulk of the business gets done in innumerable closed meetings. When best practices for HOA meetings call for all meetings to be open, with the exception of those that have to do with a legal, financial, or violation issue involving an individual homeowner in order to preserve their privacy and their reputation. What guidelines are the board using in order to determine if these meetings need to be closed and not in the view of the homeowners? I know we're not going to answer now, but.
Dr. Riley. Yeah, well, make sure we get that.
I got it.
You got
Yeah, no. Yes, sir.
It's fine.
Going through it. Big jack.
Oh, you give me some. Can you give me just a second? Thank you. I want to make sure I got the pretty nice.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. My name is Doug Kellerman. I live on Eagle Crest. I'm a member of the Financial Planning Committee. As Larry mentioned, one of the goals and objectives for the board is the development of a strategic plan. I would like to see the formation of a new committee to drive the creation of this strategic plan. And I'm volunteering to be a member of this proposed committee. In my opinion, the purpose of a strategic plan is to create a shared vision of what we want this community to be in the future and develop a plan to get us there. To be successful, we will need to get as many people involved as possible. I propose that we begin this process by establishing a committee. The initial effort of the committee should be to create a comprehensive owner survey intended as the baseline for the project. The survey will likely require contracting with a professional firm with expertise in creating surveys that solicit direct, honest feedback. The results of this survey would then be shared in a town hall to inform members of the results and get additional feedback. From there, a baseline document would be created by the committee and reviewed and approved by the board, then shared with the committee for additional feedback. I, along with several members of our community, including past board members and current committee members, have had multiple conversations with people from another community who participated in the creation of their plan. A dated copy of that community's strategic plan was shared with this group. This document will provide an excellent template for our plan, and we'd be willing to share that. Thank you for your time. When can we form this new committee?
All right, a follow-up question from a Zoom participant, Robert Kosenki. Is it necessary to raise the HOA fees every year? Is the question.
Got it.
All right.
You got that one.
Got it.
Good question. Yes.
My name is Dan Evans. I live over on Stone Crab Court. I want to comment on the, first of all, on the treasury report. I don't, if we were glossed over it, maybe didn't even mention it, but our delinquency through November is $18,500. That's all that is owed to us. And we're 471 lots, and people come in paying dues of 471 people. We've never been this low. We were in the we were in the $130,000, $140,000 a couple of years ago, about 5 or 6 years ago. We're down to $18,500, which is fantastic. I just want to bring that up because Chad, you should, that's drum rolling. That's excellent. It is. And Waccamaw did it, and as well as the board members. I mean, it's a combination of Waccamaw, the management company, and the board, what they did, how they did this. So just wanted to bring that up.
Thank you, sir.
The CC&Rs can be changed with 67% approval of 471 lots. That's the only way that the CC&Rs can be adjusted or changed. It's in the CC&Rs that way. Now, I know they didn't give the answer because they were writing this down, but it's in the CC&Rs. The only way you can change anything in the CC&Rs is with 67% of 471 lots to say, yes, let's go with whatever X is. That's just for information. You all probably knew this, but that person didn't, so I just thought I'd mention it. There's a rumor going around. I don't think it's true, but I just wanted to bring it up so you all could talk about it and put it to bed at the next meeting. The purpose of the compliance committee was to do post-construction work, which is what Jack said, and that's exactly what the function is of the compliance committee. I've heard through rumor control is that their compliance committee is being used to inspect new builds. And that's really the function of the ARC and not with the compliance committee. I think that's wrong. I mean, I think the record is wrong, but I want to make sure that the compliance committee is different from the ARC. They're two different organizations. If you have the compliance committee reviewing new builds, then all of a sudden you've got 5 people on the ARC rather than 3 people on the ARC. So I just wanted to bring that up and y'all can clarify that one way or the other. Okay. And that's all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dan.
You want to say it? You want the chair? You want the chair out? I just.
Good. Okay. All right. Another Zoom question, and it's Robert Kosenki. Have the guidelines for storage buildings changed? is a question.
That's the registration form, just don't.
Robert, I don't know if you can provide a little more information in the chat. Are you talking about storage buildings that are added behind folks' house, like a additional build storage building? Sheds?
Yes.
So that's have the guidelines for storage buildings changed? No. The answer is no. If you want to provide additional clarity, you can, and I can bring that forward to the board.
Sure.
Okay, thank you.
Others? Bob?
Okay, so I'm Bonnie Fielder. I live on Skipping Stone Court, and one of the questions from Zoom was about the binoculars and that committee that was formed recently. And a lot of people laughed, but I don't think it's funny. I don't think I want people riding around on a golf cart with binoculars to look at my backyard or my front yard or anything, my house. Huh? For my kids, yeah. So I don't think that's a great idea for whatever they're doing. Can we change that?
They're bored. Others? That's called. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Sorry, we got some more. Oh, right, okay.
Hi, Joe Carozza, 3349. I'm fairly new here. Oh, Joe Carozza. CAROZZ. I'm fairly new here. I had an issue prior to moving into my home with the storage drains in front of my house, where the swell and the pitch, and I don't understand all the lingo, wasn't pitched, the swell wasn't right. I got the runaround from my builder on what was causing it, what the fix was. The landscaper who did the work on it came out. There was a lot of circle talking. And the lot next to me, what the landscaper did was put up a dam between my property and the adjacent lot. And what the project manager said, well, that dam is on my property, so you're fine with it. But I'm concerned whoever builds on that lot is going to have an issue because the builder put up a dam.
Just what's your address? What's your address?
3349.
334.
For Water Lane.
For Water Lane.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So the landscaper said that the builder should have raised my driveway up a couple of feet, but that was quickly circumvented by the project manager because I guess the builder, that would have been a huge expense for the builder to raise my driveway after the fact. So what they did was a Band-Aid to potentially what the overall problem is. And the overall problem is when we get a little bit of rain, my storage drains back up 3 to 4 feet and starts overflowing onto my property. So I don't know. I just don't know where to go to have someone come out and inspect it.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks.
Hi, I'm Susan Letterer, live on Portside Drive. Recently we got a ton of houses down there that are being built, which is awesome. We're gonna have some great neighbors, but we have noticed that some of the builders are trying to build the trusses of their homes on the street while the house is being constructed. Therefore, when I'm heading home, I have to stop and then I have to do a U-turn to go a different way to come home because the road is completely blocked. And I'm noticing some of the homes that are being built are not required to have a dumpster. And I thought we all supposed to have a dumpster when a home is being built. So, okay. Well, take such a close look. Now.
Yes, I didn't get my steps in today. All right, from Joanne, I would like to say that your new method of handling questions from the community, not answering those questions immediately is not ideal. There really should be no question left unanswered.
Amen. Amen.
Stop. Stop. All right, my name's Scott Reed again, and I'm on the ARC. And if you see some problem, I would like for y'all to call me. I don't care if it's in the middle of the night, whenever, and I will take care of them problems. Just like the trusses being built in the road, call me. I don't know how I can get my phone number out to everybody, but it's on the list. I know the list that we sent out. Just give me a call and I'll come over and take care of that problem right then. So, but I just want to make that comment that don't be afraid to call me. I'll come. It don't care. I don't care if it's midnight. So, well, I'm out. But voicemail. Yeah. So anyway, but I get up at 5:30. So if it's that time, call me. So, but anyway, I just want to make that. Don't be afraid to call me. I'll come right over and take care of these problems. And if you see any other problems other than building trusses in the road or whatever, give me a call. I'll take care of it.
Yeah, one more question.
I just noticed in the minute or the agenda that there were several meeting minutes that were listed there. When are those posted? Like, and what's the guideline of a meeting minutes for us when we at the end of a meeting?
When we get them off, then it does. We're gonna come back and respond. We'll explain all that.
They're posted.
Can't you just answer that?
There should have got maybe
Right, I
a
understand.
Guideline of how many,
days or whatever after a meeting, HOA meeting, that the minutes should be posted.
Okay, well, I don't think we have a standard, but okay.
Huh?
I don't think we've got it. We've never had or don't have a specific standard, but we'll come up with one. So,
Okay. Maybe that compliance thing you're working on.
Chaplain. I think, I don't know, I got 4 pages here. It may take a while. So, thank you. Right. Okay. All right. No more questions with that part. So
Wait, we have one more.
one more. Okay.
I just wanted to let the board know that our attorney is still on retainer, and it'd be nice to know if those CCRs changed in any way, shape, or form, number one. Second of all, I would like to congratulate the board on really maybe looking at a strategic plan for this community. Probably long overdue to some degree with everybody building and a lot of things going on. I would caution you, having done essentially corporate strategic plans over the years, as well as community development plans over the years. I would not look too far out in front and say, if you want to do 20 different things in the community, I'd keep it to 3 to 5, even though you can hit those. That's because it's gotta have teeth in it, and you gotta be able to implement it. You can't do either one of those things, and you don't need a strategic plan.
Probably would echo Doug's comments too on really getting a first-rate community survey entity to come in and really survey the community in terms of developing what the respective needs are in this community. And out of that, then basically will come the priorities that you really want to focus on, I think. Appreciate it.
Okay, with that, we'll go ahead and close this portion of the meeting. The board will go ahead and go into executive session, and so this part is good. Wait a minute.
Next meeting.
Oh, sorry,
Next open meeting is March the 20th. Everybody's awareness.
Right here.
7 PM. Be here, be square. Thank you.